Hey guys, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and it is Sunday, so we are doing breaches of the week. And let me tell you, this week might be the longest one I've had in quite some time, if not ever. This week was off the rails. We are actually going to be starting with Stack Overflow, and I've got notes on everything as always. Now, you may know them. They are the developer knowledge sharing site. They just confirmed that hackers breached their systems, but they said customer data was unaffected, and I quote, "Over the weekend, there was an attack on Stack Overflow. We have confirmed that some level of production was gained on May 11th. But they are saying that if you are a customer of Stack Overflow or a user, no worries there, you are not affected." Moving on, let's talk about the Oregon Construction Contractors Board. Now, on Friday, this past Friday, they said it had discovered a security breach involving 8,013 online contractor accounts. Unauthorized individuals gained access to some of the contractors' usernames and related password information. Now, this incident occurred between October 27th and through the 29th of last year, 2018, and was discovered on April 12th, 2019, during a routine audit conducted by the Enterprise Security Office of the agency's information technology databases. So hopefully, if you're a contractor in Oregon, you were not affected. Moving on, we're going to be talking about TeamViewer. Now, if you recall a few years ago or so, they had a massive data breach revolving around their multi-factor authentication, and basically their entire system got hacked. They're back in the news, and they just confirmed the other day that they have been a victim, that they had been a victim of a cyber attack which was discovered during the autumn or fall of 2016, so over 3 years ago at this point, and they never disclosed it. Now, this attack is thought to have been of Chinese origin and utilized the Wintie backdoor infection, and they basically told, the parent company of TeamViewer told Der Spiegel, the German publisher, that the attack was discovered before the threat group was capable of doing any damage, with experts and investigators failing to find any evidence of data being stolen during this particular incident. Also, no evidence was found that the hackers were able to compromise or steal source code, even though they had access to it, according to TeamViewer. So you can take that for what it's worth, but if you use TeamViewer, heads up on that. Moving on, we're going to be talking about the Medical Oncology Hematology Consultants group. This is basically out of Newark, New Jersey. Patients there recently began receiving notification letters of a data breach that occurred about a year ago or so. Now, according to officials, the cancer provider fell victim to a cyber attack that targeted the practice's email account on June 7th or 8th of 2018. The notification did not explain when the breach was first discovered, but the investigation concluded on March 14th of this year. So if you are a patient at the Medical Oncology Hematology Consultants Group out of Newark, New Jersey, heads up to you. Next on, we're actually moving to Russia. Now, Russian hackers with a history of infiltrating high-profile targets claim to have stolen the source code used by 3 major anti-malware vendors that are based in the United States. Now, much of this story has yet to be verified, but if it's true, this is a very serious issue because it could force many corporations, organizations, and even individuals basically to update, change, or just simply swap out their cybersecurity systems, their anti-malware, if you will. Now, we don't necessarily know who this is just yet, but there's been a lot of chatter on the dark web, and the forums basically indicate that the ones that were hit were Symantec, McAfee, and Trend Micro. Now, of these 3 thus far that organizations or publications have reached out for comment, Trend Micro did in fact confirm they were hacked as of the writing of that article from a few days ago. So take it for what it's worth, but it looks like if those 3 were hit, there are going to be millions and millions and millions of endpoints out there that need some serious updating, tweaking, adjusting, or simply replacing. Take that for what it's worth. That is a serious breach. Moving on, we're going to be talking about a company called Fast Retailing. Now, they run a chain. They're a Japanese company. They run a retail chain called Uniqlo, something like that. I think there's one in downtown Chicago where I live. They just announced about a week ago or so on Monday that data from more than 460,000 customers for its online retailing sites, online shopping sites, was accessed by hackers between April 23rd and May 10th of this year. Now, in a statement they released on their website, Fast Retailing said, and I quote, it was confirmed on May 10, 2019, that an unauthorized login by a third party other than the customer occurred on the online store operated by our company. So heads up to that. If you are a shopper of Uniqlo or fast retailing, you may have been compromised. Moving on, we're going to be talking about Boost Mobile. Now, they are the pay-as-you-go division of Sprint, and they just quietly informed customers that they suffered a data breach that allowed hackers to access some of their accounts. Now, in a notice posted on their website, Boost Mobile's website, the company said previously an undisclosed breach had occurred on March 14th, 2019, and resulted in a number of customers' phone numbers and PIN codes being exposed. So if you're using Boost Mobile, heads up to you. Moving on, we're going to the country of Panama. Now, the citizens of Panama just had a massive data breach. On May 10th, it was identified to be there's basically a massive bulk of data sitting unprotected and publicly available in Elasticsearch cluster, meaning you could go and use any web browser to pretty much look at any of this. Now, this database contained over 3.4 million records with detailed information on Panamanian citizens, and some of the information that was out there is full name, dates of birth, national ID number, medical insurance number, phone number, email, address, other information. And so if you're a citizen of Panama, heads up, you might want to check with your government. Moving on, we're going to be talking about Augustana College. This is on the western side of Illinois. They were targeted in a ransomware attack, according to a statement from the school. Now, the statement confirms that confidential information was breached, but did not specify who directly was impacted. The server that was impacted, though, contained social security numbers and birth dates. And if we have any updates, I'll make sure to leave you on there. But if you go to Augustana College or went to Augustana College, heads up for you. Moving on, we're going back to Russia because we are looking at hundreds of thousands of Russian citizens, including top former government officials, have had their passport information posted online in what is probably the largest data breach Russia's had in quite some time. Now, the news site basically that was talking about this said that this came to light on Wednesday a few days ago. They have a breach of at least, the result of this rather, or the cause of this, is at least 8 government websites, and they were analyzed by a cybersecurity expert, were exposing passport data of 360,000 Russian citizens. Last month, the researcher disclosed that 2.2 million passport entries were taken from online marketing websites and openly available online. So if you are in Russia and you're a citizen, your passport may have been exposed here, so heads up to that. You might want to check with your government. And finally, we're going to the UK. The intelligence branch of the UK, the MI5, basically got a slap on the wrist for serious surveillance data breaches. Now, Home Secretary Sajid Javid, I hope I pronounced that right, sorry if I didn't, has confessed to Parliament that MI5 basically bungled the security of certain technology environments used to store and analyze data, including that of ordinary Britons or UK citizens that were spied on by the agency. In a lengthy parliamentary statement made last week, Javid obliquely admitted that spies had allowed more people to help themselves to its treasure troves of data on British citizens that was legally allowed. So if you are a member of the UK or British and living in Britain, I guess, England, if you will, heads up to you. Your government may have a whole bunch of information they just exposed on you. And those are your breaches of the week. And this was a long, long week and just nonstop. So were you affected? Let me know. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And as always, stay safe and stay online. Thanks, guys.